So I recently started watching Bleach and decided to make a series about my journey throughout it, and in part 1 I wanted to give my thoughts on the first 2 arcs as I feel they feed really well into one another, and they are the Agent of the Shinigami and both parts of the Soul Society, which I'm just gonna call one arc. So with all that out the way, let's get into it. For me personally, when I watch an anime, my main thing that makes or breaks an anime is the voice acting. And at least early on, the voice acting is rather varied in quality. And yes, I watch Bleach in dub because it's better, sue me. Like I was saying, there are voice actors who do a great job, some of the highlights being Ichigo, Rukia, Kisuke and Kon. Then there are those who aren't quite robot mode, but are just whatever, those being Byakuya, Uryu, Chad and Renji. Lastly, there is the character who shall not be named, but I'm gonna do it anyways, Orihime. Every time Orihime speaks, she has me feeling. I don't know what it is about Orihime, but her voice acting sounds borderline fan dub quality at times. However, throughout what I have watched so far of Bleach, Orihime's voice acting has improved dramatically. I also saw this improvement in other characters, such as Renji and Uryu, so props to them. But still, in the end, I found a lot of the characters that Bleach have to be incredibly entertaining. There are very few bad characters, and an excess of great characters that held my attention to the very end. Now, I want to talk about the animation. It is very 2000s. I may have not read the manga, but I have at least seen some panels displaying Tai Kubo's incredible artistic capabilities. So translating that with 2000s animation is a near impossible task. Thankfully, this was before Studio Pierrot made Tokyo Ghoul RE, so for the most part, the animation is good. My only real issues with the animation right now would be the lack of detail and minimal shading in the animation, as this makes some of the characters awful looking at times. But this is more of a byproduct of the time this was made, and I expect it to get better, as among other early 2000s animes, Bleach is very comparable to its contemporaries in One Piece and Naruto. My only other gripe would be the quality of the animation, as I feel like I'm living in 720p watching Bleach. But once again, I expect this to improve significantly as the anime continues, and be watchable without feeling like my eyes are bleached. Before getting into Bleach's story, I would be remiss to mention the comedy in Bleach, even though Bleach is a more mature anime than other shonen titles, as at times Bleach got dark, like when Aizen murdered all the members of Central 46 and tried to kill whatever his lieutenant's name is, I don't remember, or when Ichigo almost becomes a hollow while training with Kisuke. These dark moments are alleviated with Bleach's comedy. I feel like the delivery and the comedic timing are perfect, and really helps give Bleach a nice balance, as it never really sways in one direction for too long. Just to give an example of how funny Bleach is, I'll show you 2 of my favorite moments so far.
Any questions before I go on?
First of all, why do your drawings suck so bad? Therefore, you must stop the bleeding. You can't just wipe it away.
Hey! That's not fair! You have a special ointment to stop your bleeding!
It is too fair. It's called being prepared, you idiot!
The comedy in Bleach flows incredibly well and comes out more naturally than other animes. It doesn't feel like they're forcing jokes out for the sake of it, and that really helps me to stay invested in these characters, as I get to see a nice contrast between their serious moments and their lighthearted ones. Okay, now the story of Bleach. It's pretty good. Even though the pacing feels rough early on, when it got to the Soul Society arc, I was blown away. With plenty of unforgettable fight scenes, the Soul Society is easily one of the most hype arcs ever, and contains some of my favorite moments in Bleach so far. Like when Ichigo got his Bankai, which has to be one of the coolest moments ever in anime. Or when Aizen was revealed to be alive and a traitor all along with Gin and Kaname. Or even when Aizen stole the Hogyoku embedded in Rukia and escaped the Soul Society, capping the arc off and leaving me in a state of shock and anticipation, as I can't wait to see what happens next. It would also be a sin not to mention how amazing the soundtrack and openings are, as opening 1 is incredibly stylish and Ichigo's theme is easily one of my all-time favorite songs in any anime. So before I go, I thought I should give my quick thoughts on some of the characters in Bleach so far. Ichigo, I like him, but he just has no patience at all. Uryu, he's good at cooking and cleaning with an interesting inner conflict on working with Soul Reapers. Orihime has bad voice acting, but she's alright. Chad is the best friend you'll ever have. Rukia bullies Ichigo, but she sucks at drawing, but don't tell her I said that. Renji has my identical hairline, so of course he's one of the homies. Kisuke is either very funny or dead serious, which makes him pretty cool. Yororichi is best girl, but a low-key furry. Never mind. And lastly, Kon, who is incredibly horny, but funny. Overall, I enjoyed my experience with Bleach so far, and is the only anime of the big three to hold my interest. Now I have to get mentally prepared for the bout arc. I'll see you guys on the other side.